If you clicked on this video, congratulations. Did anybody else have imaginary friends growing up? You know, because I feel like it was very important in child development, developing that frontal lobe. It's the same thing as talking to yourself, you know, because I do that, I feel like. Because when you have the argument, right, you're always in the right and you always win because it was your hypothesis. Anyway, I bring this up because I'm seeing a lot of things with AI. Psychosis, the girlies are not okay. You guys are having real relationships. Sexual too. So that's because it's yourself. I saw on My Strange Addiction, there's a woman, she has a whole boyfriend, a whole man. That is her HP laptop. There was another man on TikTok that sadly transitioned to the other side because he was like just so involved in the AI. He was sent on a mission. So I'm just a little bit lost. I feel like, you know, sometimes in life we got to humble ourselves, right? Step on the Lego, injure the weenus. Your elbow, just to shake you up in reality. And reality is already scary enough, girl, but I just need y'all to center yourselves. And imaginary friends, you know, they kind of help because you know that they're not real, but like it helps you walk into that. And now like you have kids using imaginary friends to like get a college degree. So that's cool. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming back. So I got a chance to go see They Will Kill You. It's out in movie theaters now. And I just had a quick little review, something to discuss and share with the class. In this dissertation, I will be presenting of the fact that this movie, my God, a lot of twists and turns. It had me in the first half and then it lost me in the middle. And I was definitely like just dumbfounded in the end. You see how we got there? And I just wanted to share, you know, so this film, I gotta say it reminds me of an aesthetic of Kill Bill, and it has black women, right? So just sign me up, you know? It stars Zazie Beetz and Mahaila. I want to say that's how you pronounce her name. She stars in Industry, which is like a crazy show, quite literally, about trading stocks, but it's like cocaine, and sex. Then trading stocks. It's actually, you got to hop into it. So this film deals with two sisters, Maria and Asia, right? They run away from an abusive household, right? In the middle of the rain, might I say, go into the superstore, and Asia, who is the youngest, decides she wants to swipe her some chocolate because, you know, it's been a hard day. Puts the chocolate in the book bag. The dad busting through the superstore. Where are y'all? Right? And as soon as they make a break for it, you go outside and it's like a scene and set it off. Really, quite literally. Because Maria brings out the Blickiana, and then she shoots her dad. Like, but then Asia decides to be an op and run towards the dad. And then like the police come and the EMTs, and then Maria makes a bank for it. And she leaves her sister in the dust with their dad. And then you fast forward, time jump, whoop, whoop, 10 years later. Kind of like blip, like in the midst of Thanos. And then we're setting in present day is what I want to say, right? And so Maria is on the quest to find Asia. She ends up going to this hotel. I forget the name of it, but it's old and it's Victorian and it's white. And it gives wealth and racism with a touch of Scientology. Right? Because, you know, I feel like when you pass by the Scientology doors, right, like, you know what's going on in there. And they're not a fan of So once Maria goes into the hotel, she meets with the manager, and the vibes are already off because when you walk into the hotel, she locks the doors. And I'm talking about deadbolt, right? That's strike number one. Strike number two is that I see that all of the maids are, you see what I'm saying, right? Because you don't want me in the club, but you want my labor. The month after Black History, I'm on to y'all. Walk around, scope the scene, you know what I'm saying? Gives her the rundown, puts her in the room. And that's where the madness begins. She decides to take a nap, mouth open, might I say. And then you see this black hooded figure come through the vent and try to kill my good sis. But my good sis whipped out the blade, the machete, and tried to slice and dice them. Made a charcuterie board. I mean, all types of varieties of different type of cheeses. But then again, they get brought back up to life. And apparently what she's fighting are immortal demons, immortal people in the Illuminati that essentially are chopping down folks for fun. Whenever, if you're a newbie, you get clocked and you're getting put into the stew as a sacrifice. And then it goes into Satanism. And then that's where you lose me. Huh? That was a lot, wasn't it? Exactly. This film, it's definitely like an aesthetic of Kill Bill. It definitely gives cadence to Kill Bill with like the name, the way that they have the subtitles, the delayed speech, and the revealing of text. Even the way that the camera angles go regarding of action and sequence, like it's definitely an ode to Quentin Tarantino, right? I'm not mad about that. I think what I'm mad about is that you had like a really good plot structure of horror dealing with black women, and nothing that's like triggering, right? Something that's a brand new perspective, but the plot was a little bit messy for me because we're essentially here to kill a Satanist club. And it deals with the Illuminati, and you're going kind of like the materialistic route. And I get it, right? Something that's already being talked about because of the files. And, you know, we're here, girl, so we might as well air it out. Even near the ending, right? The plot twist is that her younger sister, Asia, decides that she is joining the club because when her sister left her, she had a really terrible job where she was being pimped out. And then she went into this hotel and she realized that you have to take a life in order to gain a life. And she wanted immortality because she was tired of being a broke hoe. And I get it, right? I'm getting there too. Seriously, I'm not even playing with you. But she ends up joining the club, and so she can't leave. Therefore, her sister can't save her. So it's, you know, this was pointless. She could have just stayed at home. And it's already a hard knock life for Maria because during these 10 years of the 10-year blip, she was in prison. I mean, like duking it out with Shanks and fighting the girlies in the showers. And here she has to go through all of that again after trying to get the money on, trying to save your sister who don't want to be saved because she already joined the clique. So, you know, it's a very stressful situation. But, you know, both of them decide to team up and fight against the Illuminati. And even the way that it ends, it's like a happy ending, right? You get to meet Satan in the midst of this. Satan ends up being a pig's head. So that's a thing. It's a lot happening, you know, I gotta say that the visual effects, fight choreography, top tier. Like she was chopping off a lip, you know what I'm saying? Shotgun, blooded out in the back, out here like decapitating heads. And I was here for it, but then it's like, y'all don't actually die. So, you know, it was what it was. And then it was like one dude named Bob, that like was specifically a fiend for her, like licking her toe. And I'm not even playing with you, right? That's how I knew. I was like, what do you have me watching? Like, where are we going with this when the tongue decided to touch the big toe? Huh? Yeah. It was a lot. You know, when you get into feet, that's how I knew we were getting into something wicked, truly. I had fun with it. I was just a little bit lost. But sometimes that's okay. You know, did you bring me back around a little bit? Sure. Did I root for you all the way? Yes. And might I say, isn't it killer when black women decide to put belt to booty on everybody? Might I say, it's an hour and a half. It moves quick, right? Like we're not in there too long. So that's a plus. But I gotta say, shout out to the cast, shout out to the marketing, because it does not give what you think it's going to give. And I feel like with a lot of movies, especially now, you spend a lot more budget in cast and marketing than actual story. Fight me if you want to, because it's, you know. But this one was definitely something to watch. It was an experience, might I say. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. It's March Madness. Yeah. Be careful with your parlays, right? Because we had to learn from the Super Bowl. Exactly. I already know you burned through the tax money if you guys decided to pay your taxes, right? Because if you do the Klarna glitch along with other type of credit card scamming, taxes are not really in your MO. Also, side note, I decided to delve into watching a documentary on Netflix, Into the Manosphere, about the Red Pill documentary. And I gotta say this, right, to all my sisters, to all my girlies, if you see anybody in this documentary that was on your man's screen, I want you to run away immediately. He does not like you. Like, I'm like halfway through. I got to take breaks, but it's very much interesting of seeing 5-year-old men wanting to be around their other 5-year-old friends on the playground to impress each other, to see, you know, who's strong, who's Dingle and Berries are the greatest. And the whole time, you know, the same people that you're degrading is the ones that you say that you love to be around. So also, what would your mom say, right? Because that was my favorite thing throughout the documentary. You want to say this around the clique, but if it was your mother, you go silent. Everybody on what? Exactly. Remember the tour? Oh, that was such a great time. Man. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.